I never could follow the path laid out in front of me. I did things my own way. I was the man I wanted to be. Never cared what people thought or muttered under their breath. I had my pistol by my side, and I was riding with death. I walked this road alone, on the run from all I've known, running free under the gun. Life ain't easy, living on the run. Come on. I thought I had it all till I run right into you. I give up the selfish ways, that's what a man would do. Never knew that my past was right on my trail. With a flash of 6-gun fury, I'd land myself in jail. I walked this road alone, on the run from all I've known, running free under the gun. Life ain't easy, living on the run. Come on. Living free under the gun. Life ain't easy when you're on the run. Come on.
Hey everybody, it's me, Doug. We got Dave in the chat. Dave says GAD. Yeah, I believe that's in G. I know the slide part was an open D. I recorded that like sometime last year. I record music all the time, so I've got tons of different stuff. If you notice, every once in a while I'll play a different little song there at the beginning. I hope y'all having a great day today. It's beautiful outside. Been outside walking the dog. Just a good nice day. Didn't have to work last night, so I got to sleep all night. So I'm doing pretty good. Been trying to keep up with all this little random crazy stuff going on the internet. And if you didn't know already, stay off of Twitter. Twitter is a crap hole. And you'll get to see people's opinions you don't care about, and people will attack you for no reason. And at this camera angle, I guess my beard looks huge, which I guess it is pretty huge. I need to trim it, though. We got Ashton Jackal in the chat, and he says he's at the park with his daughter. Well, it's a nice day for it. It's fantastic here. I've already been outside with the dog a couple times. I'm actually going to go back to doing a little bit of news first today before I do my little rant there about honest reviews being hard to find. This will tie into it a little bit. But, the Joker is coming out. And here we have an article from the National Review. Well, there we got an ad, a big old fat ad. Is my ad block not working, or am I on the wrong computer? Probably on the wrong computer. Anyways, yeah, here it is from the National Review. Joker, the most unsettling of all comic book movies. The supervillain origin story is a mesmerizing vista of one man's crumbling soul. Where does evil come from? Joker offers the most banal answer imaginable. Budget cuts for social workers, but it's a devastatingly effective portrait of a serial killer in formation, bringing to mind a long, sickening line of American psychos. More than any comic book movie to date, Joker, directed with a fierce commitment by Todd Phillips, eschews entertainment and dares to repel a sizable proportion of the potential audience. With an awful foreboding, it drills into the psychic pain of Arthur Fleck, failed clown, failed stand-up comic, failed human. Joaquin Phoenix gives one of the creepiest performances ever put on film as Arthur, a product of the manifold breakdowns of 1970s New York City. Here, barely disguised as Gotham City, Phoenix's rancid torment jangles the nerves and turns the stomach. Well, I mean, what do you kind of expect? The Joker, the whole thing is not supposed to be happy. He didn't become the Joker because he was some happy dancing around dude and, was silly or anything like that. I just don't get where people are surprised by this stuff. Set in 1981, urban hell piled with garbage and overrun by rats, Joker channels the notorious misfits of the era, including fictional ones. Mark David Chapman, John Hinckley, Bernard Goetz, Travis Bickle, whose actions inspired Hinckley, the failed assassin of President Reagan, and Rupert Pupkin, an entertainment industry isotope of Bickle. Now, see, I can read these words and understand these words, but when I'm trying to read all these words to you guys, this is a mess. They use all these words just to trip me up. They don't want me reading these. The SJWs are out to get me. They don't want me reading this on the internets. Okay, sorry, rant over. The presence in Joker of Robert De Niro as a talk show host, much like the one who obsessed Pupkin in The King of Comedy, signals that Phillips wishes to recreate a bleary vision of urban squalor that inspired a singular period of cinema, perhaps the bleakest and most potent one ever. So, that's all I'm going to read of this. It's getting kind of boring. But what we see is they've taken this really crappy point of time. Everything's filled with trash. Everything's crap. Sorry, I'm still seeing the chat down there. And we're seeing the construction of a miserable character. So, of course, it's going to be miserable. I don't know why people are so surprised and they expected to see some happy-go-lucky movie. And I also see where people saying, don't take your kids to this. It's rated R. Since when do you take your kids to a rated R movie? Just like when Deadpool come out. Don't take your kids. It's like, well, duh. It's rated R for a reason. I don't know what's going on in people's heads. But yeah, my little rant there. Brad, who's in the chat. Hey, Brad. We also got Adrian, and we got Sam, and we got Reese. But Brad says, yes, Doug, they're wanting to get you. And only that's right, Brad. They don't want me reading stuff off the internet. It's all a ploy to attack me. Please send. I don't have super chat, so please set up a GoFundMe and send me all your money. Oh, we also got Cassie Blonde in here. And Adrian says, idiots take kids to R-rated movies. I agree. Sometimes, like here in the town I live in, People don't even take their kids. They pull up and they buy a handful of tickets and they hand them to their kids and drop their kids off and they go to Walmart or they go home and they're like, hey, we don't have to mess with the kids. And then you got kids at like 10, 12 years old watching rated R movies, seeing all this violence and depressing crap. You can't tell me that doesn't affect their mind. There's a reason why kids don't need to see that stuff. Your brain's still being formed, and it's like a lot of these kids, they grow up in these terrible conditions. As an adult, don't you think, imagine how selfish you've got to be to never think about the crap that you're doing to your kids. Some movie kids need to see, like Saving Private Ryan or Schindler's List. I think those movies are important because they do show a point in time, but they should definitely be more like a high school era. I don't think you should be seeing that stuff when you're like 10 years old. But like I'm saying, you've got to be pretty selfish to not think about how your actions are affecting your children. The things you say, the things you do to your children affect who your children become. I'm not saying that children can't grow up and break away from that. At some point, you become your own person and you're responsible for that. But in your formative years, you don't need to be seeing that stuff. Now, Cassie Blonde saying that he saw Friday the 13th and he grew up fine. But he grew up being afraid of boats, so he retracts his point. I wasn't allowed to watch any of that stuff. And even still, super gory movies and stuff, they even though it's fake, just the whole point of people doing that, it kind of gets me. I don't know. And I've seen some terrible horror movies. Me and Mark Pellegrini were talking about movies last night. I've seen some terrible stuff back in the day. We got Snoop Dogg in the chat. What's up, Snoop Dogg? But back in the day, I played music with a bunch of kids. Well, we were teenagers, and one of the guys, he collected like Italian horror movies and stuff. And so after practice every week, we were subjected to these awful, super ultra violent movies. And there's still, some of that stuff is still in my brain. And if I could go back, I probably wouldn't watch that crap. But like while you go back and watch like the classic stuff now, it's not even that bad. There's more violent stuff in most action movies today. And Ashton Jackal here in the chat says, my formative years were a nightmare. I chose to be better. See, I've seen that happen to people. I've seen people with the absolute worst childhoods, and that formed them to be a better person. So at some point, you can only blame so much on your upbringing, but you got to think about, we see so many people now with anxiety problems and depression and stuff. And I'm not saying that this didn't exist years and years ago. I'm sure they did. But as time goes on, people have become more selfish, and all they worry about is themselves and what they can get. We see tons, and I'm not throwing this at any of you guys. If you guys don't be offended, but I'm just going to say how I feel. We see all these single parents, kids. I don't know how many people in this town. There's girls on Facebook, young ladies on Facebook, messaging dudes all the time trying to find a date. They've got 3 or 4 kids, all by different guys. These kids are growing up. They don't know who their dad is. You're not supposed to be raised that way. You need a positive male role model, and you need a positive female role model. Being raised by your grandparents is fine, but that's still not your parents. And grandparents, they don't raise you the same way your parents would. But, a lot of grandparents have had to take that on, and more power to them. I know it's harder to raise kids when you get older, but you need this stable family life. And these people aren't even thinking about that. They think about what they can get, their gratification. Once you have children, Your responsibility is to those children. You brought them into the world. You need to stop worrying about what you can do for you, and you need to start worrying about what you can do for those children. I've went off on a tangent. That seems to be a thing here lately. But I've got another article pulled up here about the Joker, and it's from comicbook.com. And it says, could Joker lose its certified fresh rating from Rotten Tomatoes? And they talk about some stuff here. And I just want to talk about the headline. I don't really care about the article. But at this point in time, why do we care about what Rotten Tomatoes says? They've proved over and over in the last year that they have some kind of agenda. You guys can't hear this, but my dog is asleep right there. And he's like half barking in his sleep and trying to run. I wish I could show you what he's doing, but the noise is distracting me. But Rotten Tomatoes is not trustworthy. I don't read the reviews or look at the reviews at all, because those people do not represent normal Americans. It's a small, all those reviewers are people who aren't regular people. They're not normal people. They're a bunch of weirdos. Either that or Hollywood is paying them, saying, hey, we need some good reviews on this movie. Here's a bunch of money. I don't believe anything that Rotten Tomatoes says. And that goes back to honest reviews are hard to find. A lot of these comic book reviews, I can't you don't know what's going on with Rotten Tomatoes? Have you not seen the last couple of years perfectly fine movies not getting very good ratings from their critics, but the crowd's absolutely loving it? You can go back and look at the Dave Chappelle special that just came out. Dave Chappelle's special, like from Rotten Tomatoes, their critics, it was bad. They tanked it. But the audience reviews was like through the roof. And they've been doing that. They did that with Alita Battle Angel. They did that with a few other movies. I've said that for a while, and it influences people. You get on the internet and you talk crap about something, and people go to see the movie, they've already got that in their mind. It's like, well, Rotten Tomatoes didn't like this. So they sit, instead of forming their own opinion, they've already got that in their head, and they're looking for things to dislike about it. So these dishonest reviews are hurting perfectly fine movies. And I would tell you some movies that I liked that they didn't, but you all might think that I like bad movies. So I'm not going to bring it up. But we're going back to honest reviews. I don't think, and here we got Sam in the chat. He says it's both. They don't represent normal people anywhere. They don't. And something else that I've noticed is Hollywood is pushing this all over the world that, you know, everybody thinks all this stuff. Everybody is anti-Trump. Everybody's anti-everything. And this right here, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care what your political leanings are. You in this country have a right to decide for yourself who you want to vote for and all that stuff. That's what makes our country great. But not everybody feels the way that the media is telling you that they do. Not everybody hates Trump, and I've never seen a period in time where the president is just bashed every day. Back in the day, of course, Saturday Night Live, they made fun of Clinton, George Bush Sr., and everything back in the day. You know, everybody was fair game. But these days, it's more like they just hate Trump. And I don't know if Trump, I don't know him personally. Nobody does. What we all saw was him on some reality show. So all you know him is from that. I think he's not any worse than anybody else. They're all politicians. Well, he's not, technically wasn't a politician. I don't like politicians. I don't like Republicans. I don't like Democrats. I'll get into a little politics here. I don't like anybody. I'm almost to the point where, you know, I believe that personal responsibility should be at the top of top of the list. I don't think the government should be in charge of anything. They've proven over and over and over that they don't do a good job. And this brings up my banner I haven't used in a while. Taxation is theft. I don't believe that we should be paying all these taxes. Now see what you guys have done. You've got me off on a rant about taxes. We got Cassie Blonde says, you got to think back then the internet was on paper instead of a computer screen, back when dinosaurs ruled the earth. Dude, I still remember a time before the internet. Like, it's crazy. I remember when I was in school, we didn't have problems with kids with their cell phones. I remember the first cell phone I had, I was probably 18 or something, and it was one of those that you had to buy the minutes on. Like, you only had so many minutes, and you had to buy the minutes on. And I didn't even want the phone, because the only thing the phone meant was that my parents could call me and find out what I was doing anytime they felt like it, and they did a lot. They'd call me like, oh, what time are you coming home? What are you doing? This, that. You're not home right now. Where are you at? And it was crazy. Nobody wanted a phone. Even the rich kids at school was like, they didn't want their phones because all it was a nuisance. You guys don't realize how great it was just to go and nobody know where you are. It's like you were completely off the map. You were off the grid. Everybody knows where you are now. The government knows where you are now. You pretty much give the government, you've given Google, who has sold all kind of info to the internet. You've pretty much said, please track me, government. Watch where I go. Watch what I look at. Last night we were talking about Ernest on a stream. Me and Mark Pellegrini and Tim Lynn. This morning he gets on Amazon and has ads for Ernest movies. I'll talk about random stuff. I was talking about anime with somebody on a stream the other night, and here's a bunch of random anime pops up in my feed. Commercials over here, and it's like, they know what's going on. You give them permission. We want to give away freedoms. It's like, oh, I want the government to be in charge of my health care. I want the government to be in charge of this and this and this and this. I don't want anybody in charge of anything. I want to make my own decisions. I want to just do whatever I want to. This is the land I live on has been in my family for years and years and years. I have to pay taxes on it. That's stupid. We've owned this land. And you know what happens if I don't pay the taxes on this land? The government comes, they take it away from me. And they've more likely put me in jail. But you know what? The government decides they want the land, they can come take it anyways and give me what they decide was a fair price for it. That sounds like the mob. You guys decide. Here we got off talking about politics, and I was just talking about reviews and the Joker movie and stuff. But anybody in here plan on going and seeing Joker this weekend? Originally, I wasn't, but I've decided I probably will. Maybe it's because I'm an incel. I haven't figured that out yet. They keep saying incels. I don't know. But I'm wanting to see Rambo First Blood. I know it got bad reviews too. Well, not bad reviews, but they're like, oh, this is bad. It's racist. So, I don't want to see it because of that. I want to see it because I like Rambo. I remember the first time I saw First Blood, it blew my mind. So, I still want to see it. Matthew Reese has a question here. He says, well, it's not a question. It's kind of a statement. It says, GP is releasing a new title, I see. My little comic imprint, and I just say that because it's my own little comic book thing I do. Any Lone Wolf comic or is going to say Gravestone Press on it. And it's just because I want to put out my own books, and I don't like putting my name up there. Like, Doug Garrett presents Lone Wolf. That's not me. And plus, my buddy Six Scale Combat, he's got a book that he wrote the story, he did all the artwork, he colored it, and he lettered it. And it's called The Napalm Brothers. And what I've read of it, I really liked. It set up a really good story, and I'm going to help him get the book printed, and I'm going to handle the shipping and everything for it. We haven't exactly decided if we're going to run a campaign or anything like that, but be on the lookout for Napalm Brothers. And that's the thing. I don't really have anything to do with it other than I like the dude and he's got a good story, and I'm going to be, printing it and shipping it for him. And me and him's wanting to work together on a few things. I got some other friends, and I just want to do stuff like that. I want to help my friends and work together with people, and we can all kind of put that and do it that way. And so we've got people who are saying, yeah, they're going to be seeing Joker. Casty Blunt's he's going to wait a week. Sam's going to go see it this weekend. Ash and Jackal's going to see it. Snoop Dogg's going to see it. That's awesome, Snoop. Let us know what you think, because I'm going to try to see it. When does it? What does it come? Does it come out this weekend, or does it come out today, or when does it come out? I don't even know. I just know it's coming out soon, and I wanted to see it. I'm not even sure. See, I'm talking about Gravestone Press there. Ash and Jackal says, got to have your brand like mine, Ash and Jackal Entertainment. Exactly. Pretty much if you see something that says Gravestone Press on it, you know that I'm associated with it, or, helping out with it or whatever. But, we just want to make cool comic books. It's not about egos, and it's not really about money. It's just about, hey, we can do this. And so, Adrian says Booster saw Joker last night, and Sam says he really liked it. So cool. That's good to know. I'll go check it out and let you guys know. I will be posting a review later today, maybe in the morning, of Cyberfrog. I'm going to start doing Comicsgate reviews because diversity in comics is back. If you guys haven't noticed, so I'm going to do a review. You guys should check it out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be short, though. Really short. I don't even have the book, but I'm going to do a review. This is in, some other reviews I've seen out there kind of give me an idea. So I'm going to do a review. So Matthew Reese is getting out of here. See you later, buddy. I hope you have a great day. While we're talking about comic books for a second, independent comic books, let's talk about mine. So Legends of the Lone Wolf is still in demand. We had a new backer last night. We are at 151 backers. We are $6 away from the next stretch goal, which are magnets. My boy Rumble Terrier wants some magnets, so we need to make that happen. I'm going to leave this in demand until we get ready to print. Like I said, pages are still coming in. There's still a little bit of work to be done. We're a little behind, but this is a big project. This is a lot different than just doing a book with one artist. We got a bunch of different teams, and things happen. We're hoping to get it, send it off to the printers the middle of the month. But, like I said, I'll keep you all updated. So far, things are looking good. But I don't want to make any promises because I don't want to disappoint you guys. I'm thinking, if we can't get by the middle of the month, maybe next year about this time it'll come out. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's a joke. But yeah, $6 away. So tell your friends, say, hey, that book's 110 pages for $20. It's perfect bound. It's not going to have no staples in it. There's hardcover copies. You can get it with Lone Wolf issue 1. You can get it with the Muttman variant. And if you guys didn't back Macho Dan and Muttman's book, Hero, I'm afraid y'all's going to miss out because I think that book's going to be really cool. Sam says he wishes to see more indie comics reviews in general. I would like to see more, but I want to see them from somebody I don't mean this rude. Somebody honest. I feel like a lot of people around certain factions of indie comics, they're not honest in their reviews. I don't know if it's because they're reading at a second grade level and they just like pretty pictures, or they honestly think the book's good. And there's nothing. I mean, if you get a book and I hate it, but you love it, there's nothing wrong with that. We all have different tastes. But to say a book is good just because you paid $35 for it and you want it to be good, you want it in your heart to be good, it doesn't make it good. Um, so I don't like watching reviews. I've seen a lot of reviews of books and it's made me not go buy those books. And I've had a friend of mine, he gets comics. That's true. That's true. Ashton Jackal here, he does a lot of comics reviews. And I believe this dude is honest. So go and subscribe to his channel. See, there's so many reviews out there. It's hard for me to keep up. And actually, he does indie comics reviews, and he does a lot of the big two. I know a while back he does pick up. He was showing what he got and gave reviews of them. So go and subscribe to his channel. You're one of the dudes that I actually watched a few reviews of. A lot of people though, and this is not going to be very popular at all. I never liked your boy Zach's reviews, and I don't know what it was. It just, yeah, he even when he recommended stuff, it just wasn't for me. It like I said, it kind of turned me off to a lot of comics that I might have enjoyed, or I just wouldn't even give a chance. And sometimes, like a lot of these guys, I watched Stranger Things season 3, and I liked it. I absolutely loved it, and I'm glad I watched it before I saw any of the reviews, because there was a few guys that in the indie comic scene that did reviews, and they were like, "Oh, it was full of SJW stuff, and that's all it was SJW this and SJW that." I never picked up on any of the stuff because I wasn't sitting there looking for it. If you're sitting there looking for things, you can find them where they don't exist. So, I mean, I don't know. Some people's obsessed. You're going to find politics in things. People are going to write it into things. That's just the way it is now. But if it's blatant, that's when it makes me upset. But when you go looking for it, if it slips by the average person, then it's not really, a big deal. Any particular comics come to mind that they turned me off of? Lots. And luckily, I know a lot of people were raging against Donny Cates a while back. And I'm really glad that I checked out Venom without listening to him, because I would have missed out on Venom, because everybody was like, "Don't buy Marvel. Don't buy Marvel at all. Don't buy Donny Cates. He denounced Comicsgate," and stuff like that. Just goofy stuff. Of course, anybody in the industry is going to denounce a group of comic book writers or a group of people who just attack people and post dildo memes all day. What do you expect? Dildos. Sorry, I had to say that twice. Yesterday I got my first downvotes, and I figured it's because I was talking about people running multiple Indiegogos, which I still don't like. I've seen quite a few people. I saw some dude who has a comic book that's not out, and he's running another Indiegogo, and he's somebody I never even heard of. Like, it's not like it's people who made six figures, like Malin or Mike Miller or anything like that. Just some random dude. And it's like, are they going to start letting all this slide through? And, I had a comment on the video yesterday. Doug Tenaple was talking about, he thinks that they'll let you run a second campaign, but you won't get any of the money from that second campaign until you fulfill on the first. But the thing is, with Indiegogo, once I pledge, they take that money out of my pocket. So if they're taking that money out of my pocket and holding it, I don't like that. My money is in limbo, and these people aren't delivering on this. But hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm not telling you who to back and none of that stuff. I'm just ranting about things I don't like. This is nothing but me talking about crap I do or don't like. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm just here to get you all to subscribe to my channel so that when I go, hey, go check out Legends of Lone Wolf or Lone Wolf issue 2 is coming out, that you guys will go, oh, I'll go look at that. That's it. You know. And yeah, this is something right here. Cassidy Blonde says, that's why I'm making sure my comic. Well, that's why I'm making my comic finished before putting it out there. I don't blame you. With Lone Wolf issue 2, that's the goal. We're going to have it done. You know, like I said, I might just skip crowdfunding altogether. Kind of burn out on that stuff. Well, we've got Lorenzo Sleestack in the chat. Hey, Lorenzo, thanks for dropping by. You're a good dude. Got good dudes all in this place. Good people. Good people. Well, we're talking about Donnie Cates in the chat now. I read Venom, but I didn't read Cosmic Ghost Rider. Skinny told me he didn't care for it, and I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to check out or not. I'm a huge Ghost Rider fan, but not Cosmic Ghost Rider. I wasn't sure if it was something I wanted to check out or not. I did like the first few issues, like as far as Marvel comics, I do like. I did like the first few issues of Deadpool and Spider-Man, but of course that's been several years ago it came out, I think. I liked Spider-Man 2099 when it came back. I saw that Ghost Rider is coming back, and then Ghost Rider 2099 is also coming back. So I'm kind of want to check those two out. I know Dave said he was thinking about adding it to his pull list. So if he does, he needs to let me know if it's good. I don't really buy single issues anymore unless they're the dollar bin stuff I was showing you guys the other day. So, you know, if it's good, I'll probably get the trade, which I know I'm hurting the industry or whatever. Ashton Jackal says the new Ghost Rider is out now. Have you read it? Because I want to know if it's good. I love Ghost Rider. I'm still collecting the 90s series because it's probably my favorite, and that might be, you know, wrong to say, but Danny Ketch is awesome. Casty Bond says it's good, I guess, but a bit condensed. Well, you know, might need to check it out. I don't have a comic book store close, so I don't get to check out a lot of new books, and I don't like just ordering stuff off the internet as far as comic goes. It's priced $5.99. What the crap? I don't like it. $4.99. I don't care for that either. I mean, you know, Lone Wolf was $5, but you guys was helping get it made. And speaking of, I meant to have another sale. I had a sale the other day, so if you guys didn't get Lone Wolf issue 1, I might have a sale. But Casty Blonde says it's got backstory added. Well, I might pay $4.99 for something. I don't know. Here lately, I've just been buying indie books and dollar stuff because that's what I like. I like 80s. I like the mid to late 80s comics and early 90s. I hate late 90s comics. I don't care for Image comics. That might, you know, get everybody upset. But to me, when I stopped liking comics is when they started using the super fancy colors and the glossy paper. I don't know. I just don't care for it. I say that, you know, my comic come out like that. So far, it's got a lot of demon murder in it and biker chicks. I guess that's good. I don't know. So Snoop Dogg says he grabbed Lone Wolf the other day when you did the code for free shipping. Awesome. I appreciate that. We sold like 10, 11 copies. I got a few more that's going out today. That was awesome. I appreciate you guys picking that up. I still have like a couple stacks. Some of them were going out with Legends of the Lone Wolf. Might try to have like a blowout here on a bunch of them. Just trying to expand my reach in the indieverse out there. Well, I don't think I have a whole lot more to talk about today. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Seems like every day the show gets longer. We're at 40 minutes today. We was around 30 minutes yesterday. Made a lot of really good friends out here on the internet. I know a lot of good people with books out. Go check out Megawatt by Matt Mertz on Kickstarter. Black Hops on Indiegogo by Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini. Fawn Sparks is on Indiegogo, Volume 3 by John Delarose. I've not got to read them yet, but everybody says that they're really good. I think if I don't know what else is out that I like, but go support some indie comics. Go, whoever you like, go support them. But I hope you all have a great day. And be on the lookout for my Cyber Frog review that'll be coming out here in a little bit, sometime later today or tomorrow. Go subscribe to the Needle Mover Society. Go subscribe to the Bunderdome. There's a lot of good channels out there. A lot of small channels with good content. But I'll see y'all later. Hope y'all have a great day. I'll talk at you tomorrow. Bye.